Oh, Jack. Kill myself, I try that. Alright, guys. You want to, just so I can have your undivided attention, can we?
Yeah.
John?
Yeah.
Kill that thing. I feel
Top
like I'm being
left-hand corner.
overpowered by Johnny Cash. I can't handle the competition. Alright, guys, so first of all, thank you so much for having me here. It means a lot to me. I love arm wrestling so much, and I'm thrilled to get to come to Australia and to share what I know with you guys. So I'm very honored and thankful. So.
Thank you, mate.
Anyways, so let me share with you. At first, we'll talk about just the general flow. I'll talk for a bit. We'll get on the table, pull, talk, pull, and at any point, really, if you guys have questions, we can switch the flow of this seminar and we'll hit that. I know the seminar is kind of scheduled for around 4 hours, but really, I think we're having a barbecue after. I'll pull until I can't lift my arms anymore. That's what I like to do. So I'll definitely try and give you what you came for. So Devon Larratt, I'm 38 years old. Talk about my arm wrestling history. When I was a kid, I remember going down to my parents' library and looking at the books, and my brother and my cousin, they'd be looking at all these different books, and all I looked at was Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'd be like, man, these guys are so strong. And I've always loved strength. I've loved strength in all its capacities. I just remember as a kid just always wanting to be like my dad because my dad was strong. I didn't see my dad as anything else. I just thought he was stronger than me. But anyway, so I've always been attracted to strength. My grandmother would come over, and she was an arm wrestler. And I would hook up with her. And from a young age, I knew that was a feeling that I enjoyed. That feeling of tension, that feeling of pressure, that feeling of, being able to put my whole body into something, and it's always kind of been a central focus in my life, to chase that feeling. And I was never the strongest. I remember in public school going through all of my friends on the table. I was never the strongest guy. I was middle of the pack. High school came around. I got a little bit stronger. And then I met my first arm wrestler after high school, and it blew me away. I was floored how this 160-pound dude was killing me, and I was a 200-pound, 17, 18-year-old kid right off the farm. I knew I was strong, and I could do nothing with this guy, not anything. And I knew at that point that he needed to teach me. And I harassed him, and finally he showed me. And I remember when I was a kid, 17, 18 years old, being like, what you're teaching me doesn't make any sense to me, and is wrong. And I was trying to tell him what I knew about arm wrestling. And I thought it was just about coming inside, and I felt strong there, And what he told me was arm wrestling is not about where you're strong. It's about where the other guy is weak. And that's really an overriding principle in arm wrestling. Anyways, so for about 2 months I was his punching bag. And I never got anything on him. He could always beat me. But then I went to the bar one night and I used the techniques that he showed me. And I realized that it was right. And so obviously I recognized at that point that arm wrestling was an art, and there was a lot of technique involved. And so I focused on that. Anyways, so I still love arm wrestling like crazy. I've been competing now for 20 years. Arm wrestling to me now is it's what I do in my off time. Like I have my family, I have my work, and there's arm wrestling. The way I view arm wrestling in the world is there's competitive arm wrestling and there's fun arm wrestling. Fun arm wrestling with the club, practice, it's almost a lifestyle, right? So I view it a few different ways. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. I think the first thing we do is we'll get on the table, we'll stretch out for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna start talking about arm wrestling technique. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, so let's get warmed up.